Hey there. So I'm going to do a walkthrough now of the remaining practice tasks on skill 6. So here we are on page 6. So the other video had the lessons, the practice tasks up through page 5. Here's page 6. And let's ask Smith to read the instructions. It says the plus operator can be used to join or concatenate two strings or a number in a string. And it gives us two examples. So the string sun plus the string rise evaluates to sunrise, joining those two strings together. And 4 plus the string ever evaluates to forever. And then one other thing that's going to be used on this page is this, this \n character. It's called the new line character, which will print the string across multiple lines. So if anytime you have a long string and you want to print on multiple lines, you throw in \n and it'll print it on multiple lines. You'll see an example of that in just a second. So the do this says run the code to see what the program does and write code to answer the last two questions. Use string concatenation to make your responses print on a single line. Okay, so let's just run the code and see what it does. By the way, look at this. You can hide the toolbox by clicking that arrow, which is handy on pages such as this. So park myself, maybe, well, let me just get rid of myself. Okay, let's run the code and watch what happens here. So we have variable age 16. This one string prints on multiple lines, okay? So there's some new lines going on there. There's a little math problem in the middle of that one. Okay, so that was it. Look at the output here. String, so this one string prints on multiple lines, good. So that was this \n inside the string here. So read, look at this and see if you can find all the \n's that make it print on multiple lines. And then on this next one, here's the story. Hi there, \n. I am age years old. Okay, so notice here now we're adding this string, which is like part of the sentence, and then we add the age variable here. So we declared age variable up here, gave it a value here, and now we're using that variable on line 9. Okay, how many weeks have you been alive? I've been alive about, okay, now look, we're doing a math problem with that variable age times 52. And then the result of that math problem is then being concatenated or joined, right, with this line of code. So I've been alive for about, let's go down here and see where it says here. How many weeks have you been alive? I've been alive about 832 weeks. Nice. So notice you as the programmer did not have to solve that math problem, right? You just had to write the math problem in code right here, and JavaScript did the solving for you. Okay, so now we're supposed to do some things here. Let's just see what this says. Write code to answer the last two questions. Use string concatenation to make your responses print on a single line. Okay, so answer the questions, string concatenation. Here we go. Here's the comment. Often there'll be comments like this that tell you where to do the code work that you're doing. So add code to answer the following questions. Make sure your answer prints on a single line. I thought it said multiple lines. Single line, my bad, single line. Okay, so console log, how many days have you been alive? Add code here. There are 365 days in a year. All right. So we can do, oops. Console.log. Let's get rid of that. And then what's our message? I've been alive about. Now, here's where I'm going to do that math. It would be my age times however many days are in a year, right? 365. This is an approximation, of course. And then we want to somehow add in like days there, like that. But I need to put something in this space right here to say that I'm like adding, that I'm adding this onto the end. And so that's going to be another plus. So we have I've been alive about, and then we're going to do that math problem and stick it, join it in here. So let's run this now. Reset, run. Come on, we can go a little faster than this. Here we go, and let's find what we did. How many days have you been alive? Been alive about 5,840 days. Cool, but there's some like spaces that are missing in there. So where can I put those spaces? Well, I can't put those, if I put those spaces right here, I'm going back up to the code now. If I put those spaces here, that's not really going to do anything for me. I need to put the spaces inside the string. So if I put a space here, and then I put a space here, now the string is I've been alive about space, and then we're adding in the number, and then we're adding in space days, right? So that should do the trick. Let's try running that. There we go. I've been alive about 5,840 days. So we're doing a little math. We're joining that result together with some other strings, and we added spaces in those strings so that it looks nice when it's printed. Now, you'll notice up here, they did the math inside parentheses. I did the math not inside parentheses. Either way is fine. Sometimes people think putting the parentheses here makes it just look a little cleaner. Sometimes you want to do parentheses to force order of operations in a particular way. But in this case, it's just a question of sort of cleanliness. So either way is fine there. Okay, let's just look at this last one. How many months have you been alive? So console.log. I've been alive about age times 12 plus months. Okay, I've introduced a small error. I mean, it's not a terrible error, but there's something I'm going to want to fix here. And so let's see, we run it, and I'll notice that there's no space in between 192 and months. So again, I'm going to come up here, put the space inside the quotes, and reset, run. That looks a lot better. We're done with this page. That was page 6. So let's go on to page 7 now. What do we have in store for us here? Oh, right, cool. It's the free money app, our favorite app of the year. The counter pattern is myvar equals myvar plus 1. Okay, so that's increasing the value of myvar by 1 and saving it in the sticky in the Ziploc bag, right? That's what that equals doing. So the expression, in fact, let me pause here and see if I can show this. So myvar is the variable. There's an equal sign here, and then we have myvar plus 1. So we can read this as myvar gets myvar plus 1, and so in order to get myvar plus 1, we have to do this calculation first. So we'll do the calculation myvar plus 1, and then store the result of that calculation back in the myvar variable, tossing out the old value that was there and replacing it with a new value. Now, we don't even know what myvar is to get started with, so we can't do anything with this line of code right now. We have to, like, myvar has to be assigned to something before we can do this. Okay, so let's get rid of that and go back to reading the instructions. I can do, here we go. The counter pattern is myvar equals myvar plus 1. The expression on the right, myvar plus 1, is evaluated first. The new value is then assigned to myvar. This pattern lets a variable count by whatever amount is added. All right, so we're counting by ones here. Okay, do this, run the program to see what it does. Make sure to click both buttons. And then we're going to write some code to make one of the buttons work. Okay, so let's run the program. Free money app. Well, nice. Free money. Every time I push that, I get some free money. All right, apparently the $20 button doesn't work, but the $5 button works, and we're going to make the $20 button work. So that's what the instructions say here. Write code to make the plus $20 button work. Comments show you where. Good. So Let's move me up here. Let's move this over here. Our toolbox, I'm going to get the toolbox out of the way for a second just so we can sort of see what's going on in the code here. It says create and initialize the variables. Okay, so that's just dollars, which we're initializing. Initial, right? What's an initial? Like, what are your initials? It's the first letter of your name, right? So an initial would be like the first thing. So to initialize a variable means to assign it its first value. It's like starting value. We're probably going to change it later on in the program, but to initialize a variable means to give it its first value. Okay, so when the button is clicked, whoops, I didn't mean to do that. Okay, here we go. Start over. When the button is clicked, increase the value of dollars by 5, update the text on the screen. So those are comments that are just describing what this code is doing next, this next batch of code. So I see an on event, add 5 button, click. So this must be the add 5 button. That's a nice variable name, element name, right? So on the click event, on the add 5 button, we're going to take dollars and increase it by 5 and assign that back to the dollars variable. Set the property of the dollars label to $sign plus the number of dollars. Cool. So that's this right here, right? The dollars label. So it's sticking the $sign in front with this. Good. And we get the little sound. All right, good. So that part seems fine. So it's the $20 button that we want to make work. When the button is clicked, increase by 20. Here's the add 20 button, click. And here's a comment saying I should add code here to make the $20 button work. Let's go see what they did here. They did that. So I should do the same thing down here. I'm going to bring out the toolbox, throw in the assign a variable block here, and x gets, well, it's not x. What are we dealing with here? What's the variable name? It's called dollars. All right, so we'll say dollars gets, and then it's an addition problem. So I'm going to grab this addition block and put it in here. Dollars gets dollars. Gotta spell that right. Dollars plus 20. Good. Okay, let's try this out. Run. Reset. Run. All right. 5, 5, 5, 5. What? Run. 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. What? Oh, it's just going slow. Oh, it's because of this turtle. All right. Come on. We don't need to go that slow. All right. 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. Good. The $5 button works. Does the $20 button work? Hey, it's still not working. Okay, so what's wrong here? I did the correct addition and variable assignment, but I'm missing this line, the set property line. Look at this, that's up here. Set property of dollars label. We have to actually change the value of the label to match the new variable, variable value there. So let's go back to the toolbox and grab the set variable, set property block. So we'll come down here, take set property, drop it there. Set property ID, which one did we want to set? It's the dollars label. And we're not setting the width of it, right? We're setting the text. And we want to set it to, well, this will set it to the word text. Watch, when I run this and I push the $20 button, it just changes it to the word text. I don't want the word text. So let's, oh no, come back, come back. All right, there we go. Whew, that was close. Get rid of the quotes because we're not trying to quote say, well, maybe we want to. We want a plus here, right? So one of these orange add blocks of $sign and then the dollars variable. So let's grab a plus block. Oh, I can't. That's not right. I can't. How can I put this on there with my screen like this? Okay, I'm going to make my video go away so that I can see a little better here, and I'm going to shrink my screen down to do this because. Oh, here we go. How about this? There we go. Nice. Okay. So we were doing $sign plus, oops, $sign plus the dollars variable. Now, there's an error here. I'm getting a little $sign hasn't been declared yet, warning, right? Because remember, if I just want to print the shape of the $sign, I need to have that inside quotes because this is a string. Now, reset and run. $5 button still works. $20 button, yes, the $20 button works now. Awesome, that's good. And I think we're done with this one, so finish. Continue. We're on number 8 now. This is the reminder app. This one's kind of cool. Okay, so goodbye, Smith. The counter pattern can be used with strings too. Okay, so the counter pattern, what was the counter pattern? That was from the last one where we took a variable like x gets x plus 1, right? So we did that on the last one with the dollars as a counter. So we're like constantly increasing the x. So now though, we want to do, it's telling us we can do that with strings. Interesting, let's see how. So run the program, see how it runs. Note a new block. There's a get text block on line 14. Okay, cool. And then we're gonna add some code. So let's just run it first to see how it runs. Okay, add a new reminder. All right, so I see feed the cats up here, add a new reminder. Let's close the windows, remind. Nothing happens. Oh, look, it added it at the end there. That turtle really drives me nuts. I'm just speeding it up down here with the, because when it's on the turtle mode, like it doesn't respond to clicks very well. Close the windows, close the window. All right, so it's adding close the windows to the end here, which, okay, doesn't look too nice. So let's just see what the other instructions say. Add code so that each reminder is added to a different line of code. Remember the new line character is \n. Okay. And then there's another one, so we'll come back to that other instruction in a second. So we need to find the spot on here where all reminders get all reminders plus new reminder. Okay. But we want it to be the old reminder plus a new line and then the new reminder. Because we want this new reminder to be on a new line. That'll make it more like a list. All right, so how are we going to do that? Let's go back to our toolbox, and I think we want to do this add a new line thing in here, right? I'll drag this over. We don't want to add a new reminder. We want to add a new line. That should be in quotes. It's a little bit weird, but that should be in quotes. And then the new reminder variable. Is that right? Okay, let's just see if that runs now with the new line in the reminder on a new line. Run, feed the cats, close the windows. Yes, good. So and then I can add another one like shop for shoes. Remind, nice. Feed the doggo. Remind, nice. Hey, this is kind of cool. I like this app. But it is kind of annoying that I have to go back up and like delete this to add another one, right? So I think that's what the last task is asking us to do here. It says add code so the reminder input is cleared out when you click the remind button. So this is the reminder input. We want to just make that empty whenever I click the remind button so that I don't have to delete it myself. So we can have the code do that for us. Let's look at where that would be right now. So reminder, so this is on the vent for the remind button. Okay, so the new reminder is getting the text from the input, and all reminders is the old all reminders plus the new line and the new reminder. Set the property of the reminder text. So here's the reminder text. So I think we want to set the property of the input to be blank here. So let's go find UI control, set property. And let's see here if we can grab it off the list. Why can't I click this? This might be something to do with my screen thing here. Weird. I can't click it. Okay, I think you should be able to click that and select the ID of the thing. Let's just reset the app and come over and see the ID is reminder. It's probably reminder input, yeah, because we got the text here using reminder input. So you should be able to change. This is being weird for me. I'm going to try just putting that over there. Let's try a new set property and change it to reminder. Oh, what? Why isn't this working for me, people? Okay, okay, that one works fine. This one doesn't. All right, so when code.org gives you a funky error like it's just like stops behaving, one thing you can try doing, which I'm going to do here, is refresh the page. Now, it is possible this error is coming because I'm doing the screen recording at the same time, and some things are getting sort of like stuck in there. But try refreshing the page and see if that does it for you. Look, some of my stuff is still there, and now it works. Okay, so that was enough. I'm not going to mess with that though. So it's reminder input. It's not the width of that I want to set, it's the text. And I want to set it to not the word text, but just empty. Let's just replace it with an empty string so it gets erased. Now let's run our code, add a new reminder. Let's, what do we want to do this time? Let's solve the Rubik's Cube. Now hopefully when I push the remind button, oh, it's slow, right? It's going slow, come on. It adds it up at the top here, and then it emptied it out down here. Good. Shop. Yeah, okay, it's working now. Great. Good. So we're done with this page now. Good job. Good job, Smith. Continue. Okay. So page 9, watch the video and read the description and summarize the problem presented here. So I'm going to let you watch this video on your own. I do recommend watching it. Well, you really should watch it. It's not too long, 2 minutes and 51 seconds. I'm not going to watch it with you right now, but you should pause this screen recording and watch that and then come back. Okay, did you watch the video? Good, so now we can move on to the next page. This video, right, was about this idea of global versus local variables. And so it's all about where you declare a variable will determine where else in the program you use it. So in this top example, the variable is declared, the var clicks is written outside of the on event. And on this example, the var clicks is written inside the on event. I know I use clicks inside the on event up here, but it's not var clicks, it's just clicks, right? Var is this keyword that declares the variable. That's where we tell JavaScript, I'm going to start using a variable called clicks, and really what it's doing in the background is like reserving a little memory in the computer and giving it the name clicks so that I can store things at that spot in the computer called clicks. Okay, so I'm going to push continue to go on here. Now, there's a problem here that it relates to this scope issue that was discussed in the video. So let's read the instructions. It says, this program has a scope bug. So a bug being a coding problem. The scope is related to where the thing is declared, created by accidentally using a local variable. Do this, read the yellow warning. Why might you see this when you create a local variable and then run the program once? So let's read the yellow warning. It says clicks is defined, but it's not called. All right. If I shrink this page some, can we read the rest of this? Let me shrink that down too, so I can read the whole statement. Clicks is defined, but it's not called in your program. Okay, that's a little bit weird because I do see clicks down here, right? But what's the difference? I mean, what's the problem? The problem is down here, right here, it's being redeclared, right? Using this var keyword again. That we can't do that. Once we declare a variable, then we don't use the var keyword with it anymore. So we declare it once with var, and then we don't use var anymore after that. So that's probably where our bug is going to be. But it tells us to run the program. Let's run it, push the +1 button to see how it works. Aha, NaN. 0 + 1 is NaN. NaN is short for not a number, and it's just an error code that's coming up here. So it says remove the var command inside the on event to remove the local variable. Okay, so we can remove the var command from inside the on event. Cool. Now, well, I removed that, but now nothing happens. Why is nothing? Oh, because I'm not running the program. But still, when I push it, nothing happens. I can't just remove it like completely, right? And I need to, there was an assignment going on there. So I'm removing the var part, but I should keep the clicks gets, pretty sure this is what was there before, right? Clicks +1. Now, when I run this run +1, good. And now it's counting my clicks. Good. So that's it on page 10. And so page 11 is our last video. I mean, our last page on this. Let's get rid of Smith. A ticket program. This program, let me make this a little bit larger. This program keeps track of the money collected and tickets sold for a performance. There are 3 variables already created that store the cost of an adult, child, and senior ticket. Okay, so let's just look down here and see those. Yep, so we have on line 4, the adult price is right here. We have the child price, and we have the senior price. Good, those prices are stored in variables. So now we don't need to use those numbers in later on in the program here. We can just use those variable names. And let's just look at that here. Ooh. So let's get rid of those. So here we go. Here's a spot where we use adult price. Looks like we're going to have to write it ourselves for later on. Child price and senior price. Okay, so let's go back to the instructions here. Run the program, see how it works. Make sure to click all 3 buttons. All right, run. Adult ticket, nothing happens. Child ticket, nothing happens. Oh, again, it's this stupid turtle. You know what, I mean, every page here, you should just zoop that up to the rabbit. Okay, run. Adult ticket. Nice. Okay, so it's counting up the tickets and the cost. That's cool. Child ticket, nothing. Senior ticket, nothing. So we're probably going to have to write the code for the child ticket and the senior ticket. And let's see, add code to make the child and senior buttons work. They should increase the total number of tickets sold and the total money collected. Use the code for the adult button as a guide. All right, good. So I'm going to collapse this up here, and let's close out that. And here's our code now. So we have a bunch of variables being declared at the beginning. And then I see an on event for the adult button that goes down and does all these things, and it ends on line 18. And then here's the on event for the child button and the on event for a senior button, and they're missing the code. So we're going to do something like this, but in the child and the senior sections. So let's do that. Increase the tickets sold, then increase the dollars collected, and we see this counter pattern, right? Tickets gets tickets +1. That's how we increase the count of tickets. So let's do that down here in the child button. We'll do, so we don't want the var, right? Because we're not declaring a new variable here. We're using the existing tickets. Gets. We can use the math, put that there. tickets plus 1. All right, let's do the same thing down here. Because both times, all we're doing is increasing the ticket count, right? Tickets plus 1. Now when we run the code, let's just try this out. Run, adult does the cost and the ticket. So I should expect the child and the senior tickets to actually increase the tickets, but they didn't. Why not? Let's use this watcher variable this watcher spot down here. We can type a variable name in here and watch what happens to it through the program. So it's a 9 right now, and I push child ticket, and it's 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. It's going up here, but it's just not changing the display because I bet if we go back to here and look in our code, after we increase the ticket amounts, we have to like change the label again, the tickets label to reflect the new number of tickets. That doesn't update automatically. We have to write the code to have it update. So in fact, when we push the adult button now, it should update the tickets label to the new count of tickets, which is going to be really high. It's going to be 14, right? Or 15, because now I'm going to buy another ticket. So let's do that. Yeah, see, it jumps up to 15. So it was increasing the variable, but it wasn't actually displaying it. So I'm going to use the set property to put set property in here to change our tickets label text to, what was it up there? Tickets plus the tickets, right? Yeah, so we're going to join together here. We are gathered here. Yeah, can I do this? Yeah. We're going to join together the count of tickets, right? That's the number, that's the variable, plus space and then the word tickets. So that's a string. It's going to have space and then the word tickets and then a space. You can't see that very well. I mean, not space, tickets, and all that inside quotes. So I did that for the child button. So let's see. Good, child button increases. Senior increases the tickets. I can see it down here in the watchers, but it doesn't increase that. Child ticket will now display the fresh tickets value there. All right. You know what I'm going to do here? I'm going to go into text mode because I think this is going to be a little bit easier to do some copy paste if we're in the text mode, because we're doing sort of like a lot of repeating here. So in the text mode, you're welcome to do text mode if you want, or you can rebuild using the toolbox in the block mode. I just want to take this whole line 23, and I'm going to copy it, Control C, and going down to the senior button now, right? Because I want the ticket count to update from the senior button. I already have the variable update here, and so right here I'm going to paste in that line that I copied from the child button, and it looks like I don't even need to update it, right? It should just work now. Adult, child, senior. Good. Okay. So what's not changing though on child and senior is the cost. Adult ticket is still adding the cost. So senior and child are not doing the cost. So let's grab this line of code. Dollars gets dollars plus adult price. Copy that. Go down to the child button and put that in here. Dollars gets dollars plus, not adult price, but we want the variable called child price. I think that's what it's called. We'll go up here and look. Yep, child price. Good. And then we're going to do it for senior price. So I'm just going to copy it while we're up here and come down here, and we're going to use that here. So let's do in the senior button, dollars gets dollars plus, not child price, but senior price. Okay. So now when we run the code, we get adult tickets go, child tickets, it's still not updating, right? Because we're not updating the text again. So it is changing the variable still, and we can see that down in the watchers, but it's not updating the label. So we have to come back up here and grab the set property dollars label from, this is the line of code from the adult button, where we're updating the dollars label with the new dollars amount. That has nothing specific to the adult button, so we can just take that copy and paste it right down here inside the child button, and then inside the senior button as well. We'll paste it right in there. And we don't need to change anything there again too. It's just updating the label. Now let's run adult ticket, child ticket. Yes, it updates. Senior ticket. All right. I think we're done with this now. Let's just double check here. Yep, that was everything. Hey, so congratulations. You have finished all of the practice skills for skill 6, all the practice tasks for skill 6. It's hard work, but I hope this walkthrough has been helpful. You want to just snap a picture of this code from page 11, drop it in your skills document, and that's it for now.